Hi there, and hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Love and Action Deconstruction Junction, where we deconstruct our thoughts over the last week about religion, politics, life, no topic off limit. Just here to lift our thoughts and to put our legacy work into the ether. I'm Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard or what I know. What I know is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your days. And every day, I have committed my life to assisting bold dreamers realize their dreams through encouragement, equipment, and empowerment. It looks like daily peer support groups of all types. And thank you for coming closer into our brand of love. I'm joined weekly, or as often as we can get together, by the beautifully talented Tara Parolo Studio. Introduce yourself to the folks today while I go out and do some distribution of the space.
Hello, everyone. I am Tara Priolo. I am the owner-operator of Tara Priolo Studio, and I am your resident Black biracial multi-passionate musician. I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about and push you to do the same. And I am happy to be here so that we can dish and talk because on Throat Chakra Thursdays, the world needs more talking. We got to talk to each other. We got to talk to each other. We got to let the feelings out. We got to explore our feelings. We got to deconstruct and decolonize and just get down to the truth of it, because there are universal truths. Okay, 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 okay. If you would like to be on the podcast, if you are like, I'm really interested in these topics that Dr. Flo and Tara talk about every week, and I have some of my own that I would like to talk about, we would love for you to be a guest host with us. And you can apply for that. Either let us know in the WhatsApp community. You could come over on TikTok and we could be like, hey, yo, we would love to invite you up if we're doing a bonus episode like we did yesterday with Mama Nisi. But if you want to be on a full episode, it's very easy to get on, and you can let us know in the WhatsApp chats, send us an email, or live chat us at lovedandlovable.bio.linky poop. Yeah.
All right, folks. Without further ado,
Cute.
yeah, it's the Reese's. I love the
Oh, wow.
Reese's. Even a sugar boost to power me through the hour.
Power hour. He's dead. She's dead. The wickedest witch there ever was. I don't think he was the wickedest witch there ever was. He did cast spells, and
The
it
wickedest witches that we don't know their names. You and I don't
never.
know the most wickedest,
No.
most influential, most bankrolled people. We think we know the people that we see, but the people who are lurking in the shadows, really calling the shots,
Yeah.
you don't know their names. I don't know their names.
Yeah. So yesterday, Charlie Kirk, a Nazi, was shot and killed. He done died real fast, and we have some threads about it. Like, y'all, we have talked about this last night on the bonus episode in very great detail. We talked about it this morning in the clubhouse room. I missed a lot of it, and we've been talking about it on threads and talking about it in private conversation and in public conversation and on our Facebooks and everything. So if you want to engage in that conversation in the comments here where you're watching, please do. But also, I will just say that, like, we're spending a lot of time on an avatar of a Nazi when we could be building our missions and moving on. So I'm going to read these threads, which I think have a point, and we can do a little discussion if we want, but then we're going to move on. So this is from minority. I think it's supposed to be Minority Report. I can't really read that. Anyway, Tamir Rice was 12. Trayvon Martin was 17. Michael Brown was 18. Stephon Clark was 22. Elijah McClain was 23. Ahmaud Arbery was 25. Breonna Taylor was 26. Sandra Bland was 28. Since y'all now recognize how young 31 is. A Nazi's wife is a Nazi. Hope this helps. That's from Rhythm Keen. Next and last. This is from Introverted Hiker. Charlie Kirk's final words were him trying to demonize Black people and trans folks. Hate is his legacy. So I just I had so many more threads that I could have shared and so many more, videos and stuff that I could have shared. But I really like the further I get into it with, and right before we got on here, the further I talk about it with Dr. Flo and other people, is like, he's one person. Nothing changed between yesterday and today. We are still both loved and lovable. We are still both walking the journey to ensure that people know that they are loved and lovable and that joy is the revolution. And nothing changed, right? And putting all of this energy into one person, while it has surfaced, uh, at least on my timeline, and I know Dr. Flo's timeline, a bunch of Nazi sympathizers, which will be blocked, right? And because that does not serve us, that thought does not serve us, but neither does it serve us to concentrate so hard and take the bait, right? Because really, this is fodder. Like that is what it is, and he reaped what he sowed, which was hate.
Right. And I wish that the mediocre whites would get famous for something other than being hateful. I was thinking this morning about our great ancestor, Toni Morrison, who taught us that if you could only be tall standing on the shoulders of other people, are you really that tall? And Charlie Kirk's entire legacy was built on being divisive and hateful towards disparaged and suppressed populations. And you white people can admire him all you want. I'm talking to you, Gavin. Y'all can do this. He bridged the divide. He engaged debate. There are certain things that are not worthy of debate, such as the fact that Black lives matter, that women should have autonomy in their bodies, that Black and brown people should not live a life where they are vilified, that equity and equality is something that we all need regardless of our backgrounds, that there should be diversity, equity, and inclusion in all spaces that move humans forward. And so we're a little sick and tired, y'all, of the nonsense. So I'm done talking about that mediocre white man. Watching the media and people in quote unquote power rewrite the narrative of his legacy last night on all of the major networks in collusion was very annoying to witness. And I personally am sick of the bullshit. I'm with Tara and Moose that's watching me. Y'all see Moose? Those of you who are watching the visual version of the podcast, that's Moose. What a happy, happy dog. What a happy dog. Good dog, Moose. I love that dog. I can't wait to have one of my own one day.
Happy, happy dog. Such a happy dog.
He really is. Just chilling there. I didn't realize he was sitting. That was a pillow until I realized that pillow is the color of Moose.
That is the color.
I wanted to take a moment today to just honor those who were caught up in another government conspiracy known as 9/11. We know that one of the chief ways to get the attention of Americans is through loss of life. Charlie Kirk was one prime example. I think Sister Nisi last night, Mama Nisi, in the bonus podcast episode talked about JFK, MLK, Malcolm X. These are all prominent deaths, including the ones that we experienced in 9/11, that make us aware that in America, there's a price to be paid for freedom. And for a lot of people, it is their lives. I was a senior in high school during 9/11, and I had just visited the World Trade Center standing a couple years prior on a school field trip. We were in New York for a week watching Broadway shows and touring the city and the financial district and all that. And so I was right there at ground zero a couple years before. And of course, my family lives in New York. And so I was in and out of New York a lot. So these are buildings that I saw a lot, that I was around as a child. And then they came down. And of course, you all know that perpetuated this search for weapons of mass destruction that were not there. The weapons of mass destruction are the 1% people in power, keeping us all in this enslaved state socioeconomically. And the terrorists are domestic. And so I just wanted to give my love to those people who I know who were affected by 9/11. Trauma lives in the body. A lot of the asbestos in the building, it was going to cost a lot of money to retrofit those buildings and to get the asbestos out. So one of the cheapest ways to get rid of the asbestos and to start over was a controlled demolition. And call me a conspiracy theorist, call me a perpetuator of lies, call me all the names that I've been called in the last 48 hours, but I believe 9/11 was an inside job. I'm not sure we've ever talked about this, Tara. Do you believe that 9/11 was an inside job, or do you believe that the brown people came with their box cutters on the planes and took over everything and just ruined our day? I'm a post 9/11 flight attendant as well. In my training, of course, they changed the cockpit doors and a lot of protocols and things, but to compromise that many aircrafts at the same time, what say you?
Here's what I think. I what I think is that I do not know, but what I will say is that what you just pointed out is that it's very convenient that those people were able to do all that people say that they were able to do without someone inside of the United States helping to coordinate it. So whether it was the asbestos or something else, or whether it was just terrorism implemented by rich, powerful people in the United States, perpetrated by brown people that they hired and conveniently took advantage of, right? To demonize an entire uh, uh, region of people, right? Like because really what it enabled was the war machine to continue, right? It enabled the war machine to go, no, we need the oil in the Middle East, and it seems awfully convenient, doesn't it, that those people were from the countries that now we're still warring with and still trying to take over using proxies like Israel. Seems very curious. So, follow the money. Follow the money. So I can't, like,
Follow the money and follow the stories of the people who said that they heard blast coming from below them,
right,
not above them.
right,
Follow the trail of the people who said that there was a lot of work happening in the elevator shafts and in the stairwells for months leading up to the attack. Look at videos of demolitions of buildings and casinos and stuff out in Vegas and beyond and see how they fall versus when there is some kind of external force happening on a building. Physics and the money will teach you some things. But if you want more information about that, watch a movie called Zeitgeist Movement. It's one of my favorite conspiracy theory Johns, and I think that you will learn something if your mind is open to it.
And I also think we have discussed it before on this pod. I think if you go back to last year, we talked about 9/11, or a couple years ago. We've talked about it before on the pod. Yeah, because it happens every year. Didn't you know? Didn't y'all know that the anniversary happens every year? Next year it's going to be 25. Kamala.
Speaking of disastrous outcomes.
Let's talk about Kamala.
Speaking of disastrous outcomes, here, folks, is one of the first excerpts from Kamala Harris's upcoming book, 107 Days. They put the excerpt out, and she's not pulling punches when it comes to sharing her experience in the Biden White House. She said, "It's Joe and Jill's decision. We all said that like a mantra as if we'd all been hypnotized. Was it grace or was it recklessness? In retrospect, I think it was recklessness. The stakes were simply too high. This wasn't a choice that should have been left to an individual's ego, an individual's ambition. It should have been more than a personal decision. Their thinking was zero sum. If she's shining, he's dimmed. If she's shining, he's dimmed. If she's shining, he's dimmed." Where have we seen that throughout time? None of them grasped that if I did well, he did well. That given the concerns about his age, my visible success as his vice president was vital. It would serve as a testament to his judgment in choosing me and reassurance that if something happened, the country was in good hands. My success was important for him. His team didn't get it. When Fox News attacked me on everything from my laugh to my tone of voice to whom I dated in my 20s, or claimed I was a DEI hire, the White House rarely pushed back with my actual resume. 2 terms elected DA, top cop, we've talked about this before on the pod, and the second largest Department of Justice in the United States, senator representing 1 in 8 Americans. Lorraine Voles, my chief of staff, constantly had to advocate for my role at events. She's not going to stand there like a potted plant. Give her 2 minutes of remarks. Have her introduce the president. They had a huge comms team. They had Karine Jean-Pierre briefing in the press room every day, but getting anything positive said about my work or any defense against untrue attacks was almost impossible. We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe. Listen, Linda. I done put it in the chat. We already knew. And I listen. I don't think Kamala would have won anyway. Even if Biden had dropped down, said he wasn't running for re-election. I'd like, there were too many. Yeah, she pointed out her record, and that's what she wants to cling to. And there's some big questions about that and some interesting statistics from those tenures.
Also, there's just too many boneheaded men in the room.
Right.
We know that society and the culture lends. We just talked about it opening the pod today, talking about Charlie. They will take a boneheaded man any day over a qualified woman.
Right.
Just to
You're a
maintain,
boneheaded man.
just
It's
to
not the word.
maintain the ways that they treat their women in public and private.
Right. Right. And that is one thing, like, you know, back to that, you know, a Nazi's wife is also a Nazi. Like, the infantilization of women as wives is a weird thing that the majority of y'all do. It's weird. It's weird. She made an active choice to stay with Charlie, to have children with him. That's a weird thing that y'all do. Good for Kamala for speaking out. I doubt that people are going to listen to her. We knew that Biden is a racist. But Joe Biden's dead. I don't announced on this pod. Joe Biden's actually he's dead. So, like Joseph Robinette Biden, just like Trump's. Don't pull that out, baby. Just like Trump's recent replacement after his devastating stroke, Joseph Robinette Biden is no longer. In my opinion, and I believe we will find out by the end of the year. But anyway, I mean, like,
it's like the Royals overseas. There's a company that's running everything, and they're just the figure.
Just the avatar,
we know.
You know, yeah. Like, and you know, we've talked about this on this pod before. What's up, babes? Do you want me to open this? You want this open? We've talked about it on this pod before that. You know, and I was just talking to somebody about this, but like the idolatry, the thing that people do to Trump, right? They idolize Trump and they make him the biggest avatar, right? He's the biggest proponent of MAGA, and he is the sole reason that Project 2025 exists. No, he's not. He's a symptom. He's an avatar. Stop idolizing. And then the left does the same fucking things with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and the rest and Obama. I mean, Obama is the golden child, right? Like, good Lord. They're like, the idolization is a problem because it allows for people to ignore the things that these people have said. Biden was racist as fuck on the campaign trail. He was racist as fuck. I have Facebook posts about it. Every time we come up around October, November, I'm like, oh, and February too, right? In July, because there was a debate. I'm talking about how racist Joe Biden was, right? But the idolatry is what causes us to not have other people's voices in the mix. Because y'all are too busy putting all your hate or all your gumption behind one avatar. Y'all are doing it with Gavin Newsom right now. And a lot of y'all have a lot of big feelings about what he said about Charlie Kirk yesterday. You're going to need to get over those big feelings. And we're going to need to move on. Anyway, that's that. Thanks, Kamala, for telling the truth that we already knew. I guess. I hope you make some money on your book.
They used her to get the black and brown vote and then didn't want to see her go all the way.
Right.
But that sounds about white.
Yep, sure does.
Here's some affirmation for your day. Hope you all enjoy it.
Yay.
Have you seen someone who's less smart, less prepared, less qualified than you and still winning? You know, they aren't that talented, but still they're achieving bigger things than you. That's Ephraim's law in action. It's when everything that should go wrong somehow works out just because they dare to keep going. You're sitting there overthinking, planning, doubting yourself while they're out there doing things relentlessly, imperfectly, shamelessly. You know, we think that Success follows logic, good school, smart ideas, right timing. But most of the people who win didn't follow a map. They just didn't stop. They're not better than you. They just didn't care if they looked stupid. They failed fast. They spoke up. They made mistakes in public. And while you waited to feel ready, they already built something. The reason people win isn't because it makes sense. It's because they move fast while you were still trying to find logic in everything.
While you're so busy and while I am so busy trying to get ready to, as someone in Clubhouse the other day said, get rid of the errors and to get it just right. While you are working on your dream and your mission and your plan to get it just so to launch it, there's someone else launching it. I think I joke with Tara a lot privately and publicly about the fact that hundreds of music academies and coaching practices have been launched in the last 4 years while I was waiting to get it just right and to find the right tool and to find the right group of people to launch it and to believe in me about it. And it's not about who gets there the fastest. It's about who endures till the end and who keeps perpetually believing in themselves. And so if you're out there today and you are waiting for the perfect moment to launch your dream or to see your life expand, do it. Because if not you, then who? And somebody else is doing the thing that you want to do with your life right now. It could be us. Sarah's in her kitchen cooking and caretaking the child. I'm sitting in my location, moving through life today on a Thursday. The only difference between us having the podcast and launching the podcast and the publication now for 96 weeks, the only difference between us and people who don't do it is that there are people who just refuse to do it. And we're the ones showing up. And so I wanted to share that today because we're not behind. We just got to keep going. Also want to talk about Nepal. This gentleman went on a Jet2 vacation to Nepal, and this is what he got instead.
Right now, the whole of Parliament is on fire. People are dancing. None of it is left. Look at it. The whole building is burned through. Yeah! People holding Nepali flags on top of the fire engines. Yeah! I can't believe my eyes right now. The whole of Parliament is on fire. People are dancing. None of it is left. Look at it. The whole building is burned through. Yeah! People holding Nepali flags on top of the fire engines. Yeah! I can't believe my eyes right now.
I wanted to share.
The accent just makes me like, I don't know why, but I just giggle. Like, it's just so funny to me. And it's also so funny to me how people, like, he's like, all of Parliament is gone. And then he's like, the whole building is gone. Why do you care so much about a building? Stop it, white man. Stop it. It's burning. Cool. Move on.
People would stand in the way of their freedoms to protect a CVS or to protect a building. These things mean something because their parents taught them that they mean something. And so when they're destroyed because people want to eat and they want to live and they want their freedoms and they want corruption to stop, they point to the buildings. I also wanted to highlight this post that I saw about Nepal. The Nepal police, who shot and killed at least 25 protesters, have surrendered to the Gen Zs. For those of you out there who are scared of the government and their guns, those of you who are scared of ICE, I want to show you a visual representation of how we outnumber all authority in society and how this can happen to any of the cops in your neighborhood. I'm going to do a little bit of on the cuff research because I love to do that here, and I just want to ask, what is the actual ratio of law enforcement to the general public?
It's got to be something crazy.
It's in 2006.
Okay.
The United Nations analysis found an approximate median of 300 police officers for every 100,000 inhabitants worldwide, which means that that's only one officer for every 333 people.
Wow. Seems like if all 333 people corralled that one police officer, that might not take all 333.
It wouldn't take 333. In 2019, it's reported that for city and county agencies, the national average was 2.4 sworn police officers per 1,000 inhabitants. That is one officer for every 407 people in the United States.
Wow. Well, again,
if you include the civilian employees who work for law enforcement, not just those who are sworn police officers, you then get to a national average that increases to 3.5 total employees per 1,000 inhabitants. So I don't know who the boogie monster is that we, the people, are supposed to be afraid of. That's all a hypnotic rhythm and a propaganda that they want us to believe. But we have always outnumbered those who seek to corral us, and we always will. Just wanted to put that out. And seeing the Nepalese people burn the buildings down and collect the police officers that were harming them was an amazing thing to witness. And every activist in the world that is worth their grain of salt, sand, and rocks and socks loves to see it.
Yeah. Nisi was talking about that this morning. Mama Nisi, who y'all saw in the pause, if you scroll back an episode, it's Mama Nisi, or 2 episodes or something. Anyway, Mama Nisi was talking about that this morning. She said, we the people outnumber. So like, and back to what the inspirational one, the affirmation one, it's like, while we're sitting here waiting, trying to, and building, like, and making sure it's perfect, the powerful are just barging ahead, but we still outnumber them. And that's the good news. There are more people that are for love and light than there are for hate. It just seems like the opposite.
I didn't bring the video today, but just look it up, folks. The government officials that were tormenting the people had to be lifted out by helicopter because they were surrounded on all sides. If their helicopters were not there, the people would have got them. That's important to remember and know. Bitch. And I've gotten told off on many clubhouse stages for the use of the word bitch as a man. I want you all to take note of this passion piece today concerning the word bitch.
Bitch, you look good today. Bitch, you did that. Yes, ma'am. As black women, bitch is used as a term of endearment when we deem it so, when we have given you consent. The term bitch can also shapeshift, i.e., bitch, which translates into, ooh, I got some tea for you. The monotone, bitch,
is the introduction of a new partner in our lives.
That's my bitch, which translates into, that's my ride or die. But we prefer not to die. Yes, we know we are bad bitches. Just because you buy me a drink doesn't mean my hips are a navigator for you to get through the crowd. When you had all that damn room to walk, yes, I'm a bitch with boundaries. Requesting permission shouldn't be this difficult. Why does rejection translate into aggression? Is my big clit energy too much for your ego?
My no isn't meant to be challenged.
When I said I'm a bitch with boundaries, he said I shouldn't call myself a bitch. Isn't that what privilege is? Spitting up on what a woman should be. More focused on the words he wants me to swallow, but chokes on his quiet when black women go missing.
Bites his tongue when trans women are beaten to the brink of death.
When bitch is met with a forceful fist, forced entry, your silence is the gun, forced bullet to the body. After bitch, I want your number in the first place. After the bitch, you weren't that fine to begin with.
We've made enough small talk to ensure safety. He said he didn't have boundaries.
Ain't that like a red flag? Bitch, with the grip of a wrist, muzzle mouths when black women are found dead. Yet, you wanna get violent when we force you to be compliant.
As black women, we've been taught to remain on the leash.
Not whip too loud when we get hit. But don't let this home training fool you. This bitch barks back. I'm a whole damn doghouse, so get the fuck off. Ain't that like an entitled man trying to keep me trained? Shame. He said, where do you think the word woman comes from? Man, that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Like this is Adam's rib. But clearly, your father birthed a bitch, a son of a bitch, just an offspring that don't get no bitches with your bitch ass. Other women have said I should learn to be quiet, sit upright, smile, don't show aggression,
Roll over, let them think they are right.
let them think their abuse didn't hurt me. Bitch, you wildin', which translates into you got me fucked up. As black women, bitch is used as a term of endearment when we deem it so. Bitch can also shapeshift. Bitch, you did good. Bitch, I see you healing. But also, bitch, do I need to pull up with these hands? Which translates into, yes, I am that bitch.
Yes, I am that bitch. Yes, I am that bitch. I love that piece because that it highlighted the nuance of language, and I love women and femme empowerment. I also loved their point of view as it relates to the ways in which men use bitch as a pejorative, especially after they don't get the attention that they are seeking from the women that they despise deep down. We often talk in our household about why there's so much homophobia in the culture and in society, but that's because the divine feminine, which a lot of gay men carry in boldness, is what is actually vilified. When I worked in corporate, once they determined that I was open gay, I often became, even in a room full of men, the little lady in the space. It's the femininity that is actually the weapon and what's vilified. And I loved this piece as a reclamation piece. What say you about the piece?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess I've never really been bothered by the word bitch because I do know how, like, I mean, it's showcased in there how it's used against women, but how it's used in community with other women. And when it's decided, you know, um, and how it's decided and that kind of thing. And so yeah, I love the reclamation of it. I love the statement of how it is used when men don't get their way. Yeah. Yeah.
Nuts. If anybody wants a link to that piece, I'll be happy to send it over. No problem. Also, as I was going through the interwebs this week, I saw this video and I wanted to share it. For context, a gentleman sent out a text to all of his Black doctor friends to ask them to send him a 2-minute video of what they were doing in their lives. And this is what came back. And I just wanted to lift that while people like Charlie Kirk really want us to believe that there's so much destruction and gang violence happening in the society, people of all walks of life, Black and brown people, are actually allowing their dreams to come true and actually having amazing days without all of the negative rhetoric. So enjoy this.
Working on the weekend as usual.
Traffic is the best.
I love that it's the Grey's Anatomy song.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's the beginning of Grey's Anatomy.
All Black physicians, some of them were heading to save people's lives. Some of them were flying their own planes. Some of them were on vacation in Istanbul. Like, you know, there are just so many different ways in which Black people present in the world, and it's not underfoot. Some of us are drinking our water, minding our business, and moving forward in our divine excellence. And I just wanted to point that out. I think I also got one more clip of Black Boy Joy. A lot of people have not seen or experienced Black cowboys and Black rodeo culture. Are you familiar with this?
Well, not Black. Cowboy culture is Black culture. It started with Black people.
I know, but it's been co-opted in a lot of ways.
Right.
And
Definitely.
you don't,
I mean, country music, right? Like, but that's also why Beyonce did a country album, was a reclaiming of the fact that cowboy culture and country music came from Black people. So yes, I know about it, but I do know that it's not widely known, maybe widely shared, that Black people are the inventors of cowboy culture.
the inventors, but somehow in our society, when I say think of a pink and purple elephant, or if I say think of a palm tree, you get that association. When I say cowboy, we go immediately to the Hollywood Westerns. That's what was programmed into me. And this is a lot of what folks are experiencing, and I just wanted to share it.
How old you is, man?
45, man.
45.
What they doing out here?
Hold around. Hold him. Hold it, boy. Holy! Oh, look at it! Look at That's crazy. Old time ain't nothing to play with.
running back.
Right.
Walking.
Hey, he rolled that one. He broke that one. Come on, look at that. Hey, how old you is, man?
Man, I'm 45, man.
45.
Yes, sir. How we do it out here?
But bow leg, right? I like
How we do it
that.
out here?
I like
You know
that.
what I mean?
We got you a little bit on the side, but you good. Oh, you show all the way out.
Yes, sir.
I like that. You basically broke the whole thing. Hey, how long you been riding?
I've been riding since I was 5 years old. I just started bucking about a year ago with my brother to make sure he ain't out here by himself. I get some of these young cats to come out here and get me out of here.
Ah, okay, okay. Where you from?
AZ, right? We standing at, baby.
Where you find you at?
Playmaker 11, Instagram, TikTok. We're in there.
Please nothing.
Yes,
What's
sir.
up? That what's up, man. Appreciate you. One more question. What Black Rodeo mean to you?
It means everything. It's an opportunity for us to showcase our skills. And everybody that want to come in here and learn something and meet for people who look like us, we can make it happen. That's what this is about. It's built the way it's supposed to be. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How old you is, man?
45, man.
45.
I'm back to the bone.
Sure, I just want to highlight that this exists. I didn't go to my first rodeo in Texas until I was in my 20s. I'd never
I
seen.
don't know that I've ever been to like a true rodeo. Maybe when I was little. I don't remember.
I love the rodeo. And of course, I spent time living in Wyoming. And in Wyoming, they have this thing, an event called Cheyenne Frontier Days. It's one of the biggest rodeos in the country. They call it the biggest daddy of them all. And it is like a full experience. And I found in Wyoming, people were not really alarmed by people who didn't look like them. Of course, they would look like, how did you, get here? You don't look like everyone else, but it wasn't as big of a deal as it can be in some, outlying areas of the South. But I wanted to focus on that Black Boy Joy today and what's happening. I'm at the rodeo, and if people had never seen someone bucking on a bronco, congratulations.
I sang a song once called Bucking Bronco, and I've never forgotten it. It's by Minnesota composer Libby Larson. Bucking Bronco! Except it's really high. Anyway, y'all are so welcome. It's literally called Cowboy Songs. And it's by Libby Larson. If you're a soprano, go ahead and look it up. It's a fun time. She's a living composer. She's a white lady, but she's a living composer. Diversify the canon, okay? Anyway, so basically we're going to move through this really quick because y'all already know the Supreme Court ruled that it is totally okay to racially discriminate and for ICE to continue human trafficking and kidnapping people off of the streets based on their skin color. So that's thanks, Supreme Court. Appreciate you. Supreme Court lifts restrictions on LA immigration raids in a win for Trump. So basically, a judge ruled that it was unconstitutional and like Trump did not have that power. And the Supreme Court said, yes, he does. And they can totally act in this way. So, yeah, there's that.
The lawful exclusion of people, or the assumed lawful, because I don't consider it to be lawful to exclude people in this way, but the ways in which people are trying to legislate hatred and division is nuts. Like, what do you get beyond the money? If you follow the money, you will see that's very lucrative to be hateful towards people, if that's the way they're trying to set it up to be. But what do you personally derive from this mistreatment of people at these top levels when we recognize, as we talk about every week on the pod, that everybody has universal needs that are similar?
Right.
The Maslow does not change based on the color of your skin. These humans who've come into the planet want food, clothing, shelter, to be happy, healthy, and free, just like everybody else, and to pretend like humans don't desire these things and don't deserve these things, I think is ridiculous. And that feeds through because of the propaganda of unworthiness. I'm not going to talk about this in detail this week because we talked about it last week, but I did want to leave this in because I'm working on a masterclass series and a course that I'm developing to help people navigate and come out of the propaganda of unworthiness. There's a lot of stuff in our society and built into the culture that makes us want to feel like we're not enough and like we don't deserve more. And we will be working actively in the network to disrupt that. Charlie Kirk wanted a lot of people to not feel in their abundance and their wholeness and in their fullness. And we will disrupt that through these classrooms of inspiration. And one of the courses that I'm really interested in teaching is this disruption of the propaganda of unworthiness. I also wanted to talk a bit today about our conversation that we had this morning around toxic shame. It's something that we all have been asked to carry in society, and I'm done. I'm done feeling horrible about who I am and the things I desire and how I want to help and uplift people. I'm done having people put baby into a corner as it relates to my big dreams. And I would encourage all of you to do the same. I cannot read it on the air because it would perhaps get me clipped. But I want to point you to my name is Toxic Shame. It is a poem by Leo Booth and John Bradshaw. Give it a listen or come to a clubhouse room at 11 a.m. in the mornings where I read it. And we're going to start picking apart from this piece of prose the ways in which these things are showing up in our lives. Maybe someone shamed you for being who you were as a child. Question is, who shamed them? And then who shamed them and who shamed them out of wanting happy, healthy, and free lives? We got to talk about it. Do you want to say anything about toxic shame before we move into the ceasefire now slide?
No, I think we talked about it a little bit last week too when we were talking about just general shame and how shame can be neutral, but also toxic shame is not it. It's not it, girly pops, and we gotta talk about that too. You have had enough.
Some
No.
people use shame as a motivator, right? If I can shame this person into moving forward, then it's good for them. My father did a lot of this. Can I break you down to build you up? I think there are many ways we can motivate people. Why not allow the carrot of being happy, healthy, and free in your life be motivation enough? Why do we need to make people feel awful first in order to get them to their better? I don't think it's necessary. I think we can figure out what lights people up and how they want to manifest themselves in the earth, and then support them, encourage them, equip them, and empower them to get what they want out of their life fruit. All the juice.
Agreed.
All right.
Ceasefire now. So this was actually from a few days ago. And Hind, I can't remember when Hind died, or when Hind was murdered, but this is about Israel. They shot 5-year-old Hind 355 times. 355 times. She was 5.
Preventable bullshit. But you know that this has to do with the fact that that particular group of people likes seeing this. This is their WWE. This is their UFC. This is their gladiator games. This is their Rome moment. And watching it happen is very entertaining to that mentally unstable crowd.
Right.
We're calling for ceasefire now in the hearts, minds, and energies of the planet, and we're doing everything that we can within our network to once again, encourage, equip, and empower people to do better so that this isn't what's centered. We could have love and peace instead of war. We could have harmony and peace and love sprouting up in our communities rather than this propaganda of fear and paranoia and the othering that would create the conditions for a 5-year-old to be shot 355 times and no one to lift it. We got to get out of here, folks. So we want to invite you into Adopt a Black Artist program. If you're out there and you're creative and you're looking to be inspired, feel free to drop us a line and to learn more about the Adopt a Black Artist program on the internet. It will be turning into a correspondence course with meetings scattered throughout the month in order to free up some of my time so that I can go into some higher money-making opportunities because I have to eat and contribute to the family unit just like everybody else. So
say we all.
yeah, so expect that change. It will not diminish, and I will not diminish in the quality of care that I give to the community, but it'll just look differently, and we'll be just showing up to make sure everyone is spiritually, physically, mentally fed and beyond in the program. But it is still open. We're still calling people in. We're still accepting applications. And we have daily participants who are benefiting from being in our peer support groups. So continue to sign up and let us know what your needs and seeds are, and we will uplift you in the community. I was just talking about the daily peer support groups. Happens 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central every morning. It's supposed to be an hour. It's been going to 2 because people have really been growing there. If you spend 30, 60, 90 days in our peer support programs, you will have a different view on your life. Your thoughts will become your beliefs will become your behaviors, and you'll see a radical change. If you can give us the time, we would love to invest back into your time, talent, and treasure with some of our own and to see you through. I'm also establishing a pay cycle and an invoicing protocol to allow people to get admin and support services through Love and Action Network and Love City Arts. And if you're interested in having us lift some of your admin duties or support you in the areas of accountability and, really sinking your heels or digging your heels in and sinking your teeth into the dreams that you say you want, we're happy to support that. Here's a little shot of me in the future. We put this here just because that's what I'm moving towards. And we're hiring for the Love Experience locally in Savannah, Georgia, where I am now based, and also online. And so if you're interested in being part of the People's Cabaret and lifting your art, you don't have a stage locally where you'd like to try your art and try to make more of your art, we will create the spaces for you. One of the wonderful things about Love and Action Network is not only are we seeking opportunities to grow and build all the time, but we're also building those opportunities for people to shine. And so if you're interested in being on our stages in the way that Mama Nisi was last night, come aboard. The train is leaving for Love City. Tara, tell us about your program.
Love City. I feel like we need Carl to write a little jingle. And y'all will just have to deal with Piper because we're just having a moment right now. Okay, so I've got Blackening the Canon group chat and membership on the way. So if you want to join that and learn about some Black composers and get the connect and the things that I see on the front lines of trying to change the world of classical music, you can join. It's on my website somewhere, tarapriolo.com/links. And then tomorrow, which is Freedom Friday, I have free 15-minute alignment checks, free 30-minute alignment resets. And then I am also teaching your program is a mirror at 5 p.m. Central. Those are going to get a little bit shorter. My master classes are going to be a little bit shorter because I have a student at 6. So it will be about a 45-minute master class on building your program to reflect your inside and the world that you're trying to build. This is for emerging professionals and professionals that are seeking to diversify and change their programming.
There's a lid for every pot in Love and Action Network, and we are thrilled to always share it with you. If something that we said over the last hour inspired you, or if you got a yeah, but, or if there's something that you would like to talk with us about a community, just drop us a line over at lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link. We would love to figure out ways to help you in your magic, be encouraged, equipped, and empowered. Tara, we talked about a lot today. We talked about bitches. We talked about Charlie Kirk. We talked about Nepal. We talked about all the things that hopefully you all are also discussing in your group chats and or dinner tables. How do you feel about what's to come in the world and your contribution to it, either through the network or through your personal practice over at your studio?
I feel like all of this in the last couple days, like, and I used to post this on Threads an awful lot. The chaos is the point. The chaos is the point. And I just, like, it is happening, right? I mean, I said this on yesterday's, right. I said this on yesterday's bonus episode, but like, the point is to distract us. The point is, and like we can get so, and I have over the last 24 hours, like, oh my God, there was a school shooting. Oh my God, there was this other person that died. Oh my God, there was knife violence. Oh my God, it was violence. It's what happened. It was violence. It's what happened. And nothing changed. Right. And so if anything, over the last couple days, and talking within Love and Action Network, talking within my other communities, and talking to Dr. Flo today in this situation, it's a situation. I guess it's a podcast called A Situation.
It's a situation. Yes,
It's a
for
situation,
sure.
child. I am just recommitting to like the thing that I can offer, right? Or the things that I can offer, which is my embodiment of my joy and my freedom. And that is it. And that is enough. And that is more than enough. Right. And so like that's what I'm recommitting to as I come into like, okay, all of the, like happened. And now what can I do? As Nisi asked us, what action are we taking? What are we gonna do about it? Nisi asked us this morning in the clubhouse room. What are we gonna do about it? I'm gonna commit, as I talked about last week in the clubhouse rooms. I'm going to commit and keep recommitting to my own missions and my own building and my communities building and the growth within those communities and the freedom and the liberation and the joy and the love in those communities. And that's what I can do. This I can do. All that I'm asking is one perfect moment in time. Do, 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 do.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching.